Hello, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Kara, and today I will discuss why our local bars need a curfew of midnight. By stopping the sale of on-site alcohol, we can decrease the risk of our citizens in the community for drinkers and non-drinkers alike. According to the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, we have learned that 88,000 people die from an alcohol-related incident each year. That makes it the third leading cause of death in the United States. Third leading preventable cause of death in the United States. Although alcohol can be a fun and social pastime, we do have to recognize that it is still a mind-altering drug with negative side effects that can impact those around us. In this short talk, I will discuss my own experience with alcohol and working in the alcohol industry. I will also discuss how alcohol and violence are correlated, and I will discuss how the rate of alcohol is metabolized differently at night. So let's begin with my experience working in the bar industry. I used to be a bartender in a nightclub, and working as a bartender, you learn a lot about the effects of alcohol on other individuals. Between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m., the scene in the bar, in the nightclub would change. So people would act more drunk, more careless. They would be more aggressive and rude towards others around them. From the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, it states that 1,825 students aged 18 to 24 die from an alcohol-related incident, such as motor vehicle accidents. My bartender coworkers and I would discuss how many of these we heard of after the month or so of bartending. We would discuss all of the ones that we heard about. They're pretty regular, and it was pretty shocking to see the outcome of alcohol on individuals. We are open late till 2 a.m. and sometimes as a nightclub, we get people that come in after hopping around from different locations. So sometimes some of these people coming in have already visited 2 or 3 other bars before they came to us. And it's hard as a bartender to know how much they've had to drink. And so over-serving individuals is a pretty regular thing in the bars. And by the time 2 a.m. rolls around, people have had well over their legal limit to drink. I've discussed a little bit about my experience working with the bar industry, so let's focus a little bit more on how violence and alcohol are correlated. So violence and alcohol go hand in hand. We hear a lot the expression, oh, I'm a silly drunk, or an emotional drunk, or an aggressive drunk. For some people, alcohol and aggression are synonymous. In a study published by the Journal of Addiction, there is an increase of 16% of violent crimes against people every 1 hour after midnight. So 2 hours after midnight, there's a 32% increase in violence in the bars. So if we decrease the time a bar is open, we set a curfew for midnight, we can keep our citizens safe. Another study published by the Alcohol Rehab Guide shows that 1.4 million people are victims of a violent crime due to alcohol. So decreasing these risks greatly improves our community, and those drinkers or non-drinkers alike, just anybody out there after midnight, is kept safer. It seems like an easy option when we consider the safety of our citizens to be able to decrease the time that a bar is open. I talked a little bit about alcohol and violence. We're now going to shift gears and talk about the metabolism of alcohol and how it is affected when we are drinking later at night. So alcohol, under normal conditions, will be metabolized 0.015 to 0.02% blood alcohol content, or BAC, per hour. So we can metabolize that much under normal conditions. However, our food consumption, the rate of consumption, our mood, gender, weight, all play an important role in how quickly we metabolize the alcohol we consume. The University of Notre Dame also states that fatigue plays a great role in how quickly we metabolize alcohol. They state that as we fatigue, our liver is less efficient at processing the alcohol. Therefore, one drink as a tired individual creates a higher BAC than normally intended. So let's take the typical demographic of people that are drinking between 12 and 2. They're typically college-age students that are binge drinking. These college-age students, we all know, are sleep deprived. They get 4 to 5 hours of sleep, study for tests, and there's that poor college student where they're eating ramen noodles for dinner. So if you take this underfed, overstressed, sleep-deprived individual and you put them in a bar after midnight, how well do you think that they're metabolizing this alcohol? Probably not very well. So in this short talk, I have discussed a lot of different factors that can contribute to the safety or lack of safety for our community as bars are kept open later. We reviewed a little bit about my experience in the working in the industry. We also reviewed how violence and alcohol go hand in hand, and as well as how we don't metabolize very well when we're tired and staying up at such a late hour. I hope that this has given you a little bit of insight and that you're persuaded to think that it isn't such a great idea to have bars open so late. There are some that would argue that it is beneficial to keep the bars open later, and if we decrease the amount of time that a bar is open, we decrease it to midnight instead of 2 a.m., that the quality of life would go down. However, if we look at the safety of our community, if we consider that such a great percentage of people would not be victims of a violent crime, we would have people traveling home safely and not be victims of drunk driving accidents, and that we wouldn't risk losing loved ones from alcohol abuse after midnight, then it seems like an easy option to consider. My hope is the next time you go out for a drink that you will consider the safety of others around you and that you'll recognize that maybe your late night buzz isn't so important. Thank you.